Shalom. Before I get into this message, I want to start off by giving all praises and all glory, all honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. For those that are fairly new, Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father. When we say Bahashem, Bahashem means in the name of. Yahweh Shai is the true name of his only begotten Son, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus. Bahashem, again, in the name of Rakwakadash, meaning the Holy Spirit. So, again, I will repeat it now that you have the understanding. We give all praises, all glory, and all honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakwakadash. Want to give double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who move and teach well, of whom I learn from daily. So this message is about our diet and the importance of our diet. Um, this is a message that I feel I need to put out for myself because I was edified in looking through this. So hopefully this is edifying to those newcomers as well as to why it's important for us to follow the laws and try to keep our bodies clean. A little bit of transparency too. I'm gonna have to share my notes. Uh, like for some reason I try not to, but I'm going to just because A, I'm driving, and B, I want to make sure I bring out all the points. So let's start off in Leviticus 11. Okay, so Leviticus 11. Boom. Leviticus 11 are laws about animals that we can and we cannot eat. And how it spoke unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel. That's us, you so-called blacks, natives, and Hispanics. We are the children of Israel. Saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever parteth the hoof and is cloven footed and chews the cud among the beasts, that ye shall eat. Now, for you guys that are, oh, man, I cannot stand this Bible app here. Like it is. Uh. For those that are newcomers, I know that the King James can be sometimes difficult to read for you guys, and sometimes it is for me too. I'm not gonna lie. But we read the King James version because it's the first translation from the Greek, and so it's the closest translation. It's like playing the telephone game. If you give a message to one person, and then that person gives that message to 10 more people, after those 10 people, the message changes. So what do? You try to go back to the original, try to go back to the horse's mouth per se, and you try to hear it from the horse's mouth. The closest thing we have to the horse's mouth is the King James Version. So, if I would say that you should read the King James Version. If you have some trouble understanding it, Don't be ashamed to go into the to different versions, but try to stick to the KJV. Um, I'm going to read a couple of scriptures here. I'm not going to go down the entire list of what can and cannot be eaten. You guys can do that, but I'm just going to kind of simplify it and show you that you can read it and that you can partake in this. Verse 3, you may eat any animal that has a divided hoof, that is a hoof split into two parts, especially at its distal extremity, and choose the cud being the grass. Okay, so, and then the Most High goes on to name animals of the fish, name animals of the sea and animals of the land. Now, he gave us this law because he chose us to give his laws to. Why? Because he loves us. We are his people. Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art a holy people unto Yahweh, thy power. Yahweh, thy power, has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all that are upon the face of the earth. Above means over. Okay? Matter of fact, let's get that. I'm gonna try to knock this message out pretty quick. This is on my phone. I don't have my burner phone on me. I don't want to get a phone call. Above all, call all, the whole, any, each, everything. No, that's not the one that I want. Let's get it. Let's get the meaning of above. Above meaning. Oh, above an extended space. No. There you go. Number two. At a higher level or layer than. Let's continue here. At a higher level, considered of higher status or worth than. So we are considered a higher status than the other nations. Okay. Now I'm going to give you an example here. I think I wrote it on my notes. He chose us. Okay. So in him choosing us, he's excluded the others. Let me say that again. When you choose something, you by nature exclude everything else. If you're, take for example, the price is right, or take for example any three choices. Somebody gives you the, if somebody gives you three options, you can have money, you can have a car, or you can have a house. Whatever you choose, you have chosen that, but in you choosing that, you have also excluded the others. If you choose the house, you you are putting more value on the house than you are the car and money. So by nature, when you choose something, you're excluding everything else. So Yahweh chose us as his people to give his law to. He chose us as his people, blacks, natives, and Hispanics, to give us the laws and what we should do, what we should eat, because he cares about us and he loves us. So, uh, let's see here. The reason I gotta write this down is because I'm driving and it's traffic, but I gotta put this message out. That's what he does. He chooses us because he loves us more. Psalm 147. Psalm 147. I think it's KJV. Blah, blah, blah. Now, he chose us and to give. No, I'm not trying to get that. He chose us as a nation to give his laws to. He didn't give his dietary laws. Keep in mind, Leviticus 11. It says, "Speak to the children of Israel." Okay, boom, boom, boom. Verse 18, 147, 18. He sends out his word and melted them. He causes his wind to blow and waters to flow. Verse 19. He shows his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He has not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh. All right. He gave us his laws because he loves us. All right. Because we are above the rest. We are of more value than the rest. And because we are of more value, he's only given us the secret recipe to eternal life. He's only given us the opportunity for eternal salvation. He's only given us his dietary laws. Now, some of you may be asking us, okay, why did he give us these laws? Why are there certain animals? Why did he give us these dietary laws? Hold on a second. I'm about to tell you. Uh, I'm about to tell you. Hold on. Matthew 7 and 11. Let's get it. I'm driving a stick shift in traffic, on a phone, reading scriptures, trying not to crash, but trying to get this message out. Matthew 7, and it's no thing because, it's not even about the lesson, man. I'll be on YouTube and TikTok, all kinds of stuff. So how could I not do it and put together a lesson? Okay, Matthew 7 and 11. If ye then, being evil, know how to give good gifts unto your children, how much more shall your Father which is in heaven give good things to them that ask him? So what that's saying is that you wouldn't tell your kid something that's going to bring them damage. You would tell when you're raising up your children, you put rules on them, but why do you put those rules on them? Because it's for their own good. They may not understand it, especially when they're younger. They may not understand not to touch that wall outlet, but you put that rule because it's for his better. And this scripture is saying, those of you that can give gifts being evil to your own kids, how could the Most High not also do more? And His law is a gift, okay? His rules and His laws are a gift, not because when we as Israelites abide by them get the eternal salvation, but because now we see what's happening when you eat certain foods. It's now common knowledge. Go ahead and search it up. It's now common knowledge that a pig doesn't have pores, man. So that pig, them pork chops, that bacon, those carnitas, that pozole, all that nasty, those pork rinds, everything that our people eat, that's you're eating what the pig has ate, and they feed them trash. They eat mud, they eat shit, they eat molded bread, molded food. I mean, if you have the stomach for it, go ahead and search TikTok what a pig eats. I mean, it's disgusting. He's rolling around in mud. Like, man, every other farm animal, you have to put some kind of bedding down because you don't want them, walking on themselves. I'm sorry, walking on their own excrement. Pigs, they literally live and sleep in it, man. It's just a dirty animal. So the pig not having pores, everything that it eats, it stays in its body. And so when they kill that pig, you're eating what every piece of filth that pig has eaten. So now it's common knowledge, but back then our people didn't have this knowledge, man. But the Most High gave it to us, even though we didn't have that knowledge back then. We didn't have that scientific knowledge. The Most High did, and that's why He told us not to eat certain animals. Now check this out. This is another. This kind of goes into further prove that point. Check this out. Guy ate slug paralyzed. Check this guy. This dude. Oh shit! No, I don't want to do this. Sam Ballard. So this dude right here, Edomite. This dude ate a slug, man. Check out the story later on, but um, this dude got dared to eat a slug, man, and he ate the slug off a bat. He became sick and paralyzed. I forget if he died or not, but there's pictures of him. Let me see. Sam Ballard. Where's this dude at? Hmm. There you go, right here. Before the slug and after the slug. He ate an unclean animal, man. And see, I have this knowledge now because of the internet. I saw the story a couple years back, but our people didn't have this kind of. Our people didn't have these tools, and the Most High understood that, and so that's why He gave us these laws to try to save us. I mean, can you imagine if we didn't have these laws and we just ate whatever, like like the so-called Chinese Moab does? I mean, they be eating all kinds of weird stuff, man. But the Most High gives us these laws so that we can have health, and He gives us His laws so that we can abide by them and do our part to assure our salvation, man. But our people didn't have this back then, man. So the Most High chose us as a people to give His dietary laws, what we can and cannot eat, because there are negative side effects of eating certain animals. So my question to you guys then is, who pushes who pushes the who pushes you to eat pork? Who, what group of people, 141.9. What group of people, Psalm 141 and 9, push pork? What commercial? We have the meat. Oh, a real man eats bacon. You know what group of people controls the media and controls the advertising firms? What group of people tells you to eat pork? The so-called white man, the Edomites, Amalek. See here, 141. 141 and what, 9? Boom. 141 verse 9. Keep me from the snares which they laid for me, and the dens of the workers of iniquity. What the reason I bring this up is because when we when we eat those pork, the shrimp, we are it's a snare, and it's a snare being pushed to our people by our enemy, and rightfully so. David calls them snares. Why are they snares? Because first of all, not only is it going against his law, but check this out. Leviticus 11 and 11. They shall be even an abomination unto you. You shall not eat their flesh, but you shall have their carcasses in abomination. All right, check this out. What does the word abomination mean? I already got to pull up. Well, let's get it. Because abomination is a detestable thing, or an idol, or an unclean thing. So those foods are a detestable thing. What is detestable? Go on to the etymology online. Detestable is abominable, very odious. But the one that really stands out is it express abhorrence for, but it literally means to denounce with one owns to denounce with one's testimony. Okay, so when we eat those foods, it's an abomination. We are denouncing the Most High. We are denouncing Him choosing us. We are denouncing our exclusivity. We are going against the Most High's laws, man. And so I am a parent, and so as as children get, and I'm sure we all were teenagers at one point, where our parents would keep telling us, "Hey, don't do this, don't do this, you know, don't do this." But then after a while, it was like, "Look, man, I'm telling you, don't do this shit, because if you do this, you're gonna get locked up. If you do this, you're gonna get suspended. If you do this, you're gonna go into debt." And so at first, it starts with a warning, a law. Don't do this. But then after a while, if you see them doing that, it starts to piss you off. I mean, I know that I know that everybody listening at one point or another got their parents upset because we did exactly what our parents at one point were telling us not to do. And what was our parents' reaction? They were getting upset, because we were basically spitting in their face. Why did you do this? I told you not to do this. And then they got to come and bail us out, literally bail us out, you know? And, sometimes figuratively, well, most of the time figuratively, but I'm saying, when somebody doesn't follow your rules, when your kid doesn't follow your rules for a while, I mean, after a while, it's upsetting, So why? Because they're denouncing your rules. Okay, so now if we can understand that as parents, and if we, even as children, if we can understand how disrespectful that is, who are you? You know, this is the Most High right here. The Most High is that parent, that righteous parent. He gave us these laws, and so when we blatantly go against the law and we eat these these foul foods, man. We are like like this term says, denouncing with our own testimony, man. We're denouncing him. I hope this message is still going, and I hope my audio is still going. I'm gonna continue on. Last time I did, last time I did this, the audio didn't show. So I hope I'm still having. Damn. I fucking man, I hate iPhone. I really do. I hate iPhone. I need to give me an Android, but I hate Android too. Anyways, let's continue on, man. I fucking can't stand it when that shit happens. All right, Leviticus 11. So they are causing us to denounce our uh, our power through our testimony, through our action. Now, they know why. They know why. Bleh. They know why they do it, but most of our people don't know why we do it. They know why they have to push the pork. Most of our people uh, uh, don't know why eating pork is such a big deal, or eating a bad diet is such a big deal. Okay, Judith 5 tells us. Let's continue on. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Judith 5 and 2. Wherewith he was very angry, and called all the princes of Moab and the captains of Ammon, Chinese and Japanese, and all the governors of the seacoast. And he said unto them, Tell me now, ye sons of Canaan, who this people is that dwelleth in the hill country, and what are the cities that they inhabit, and what is the multitude of their army, and wherein is their power and strength, and what king is set over them, or captain of army. So a king here. Well, no, this is the captain of the army, Holofernes, and he started to take over all of the cities around him, and he brings together the princes, which are the higher ups. Okay, now anytime that in any civilization, the higher up you go, the more knowledge that you have. Bankers know things that we don't know about. They know tax laws that we don't know about. Business people know business things that we don't know about. And that applies to the same thing when it comes to the negative dealings, to the things of the on the left hand. The princes have more knowledge than the regular folks, and so he gathers the princes and says, "Who are the Israelites?" And this is how it's responded. Verse 5, Then said Aquar, the captain of all the sons of Ammon, Japanese, Let my Lord now hear a word from thy mouth of servant, and I will declare unto thee the truth concerning this people, which dwelleth near thee, and inhabiteth the hill countries. The people are descended of the Chaldeans. He gives a history, boom. For they left the way of their ancestors, verse 8, and worshipped the God of heaven, the God whom they knew. So they cast them out from the face of their gods, and they fled into Mesopotamia, and sojourned there many days. So he's given up this prince, and I encourage you guys to read this book, but I'm not gonna have the chance because I know somebody's just gonna start blowing me up right now. But they know our history. He's given our history here. God dried the Red Sea, but when they departed, now they returned. Boom, verse 20. But now are they returned to their power and are come up from the places wherein they were scattered and have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country where for it was desolate. Now, therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider this. Let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their God before them, and we become a reproach before all the world. So what he's saying is they know our history. The prince breaks down our history. We came out of Egypt, we sinned. So then he says, look, if these people have sinned against their power, we can beat them. But he says if they have not sinned against their power, don't even mess with them. So they know that the only way that they could overcome us was through causing us to err, and that's why they push that bacon. That's why that's why Psalm 141 says what it says, man. Keep me from the snares which they have laid for me. Though those snares are not only bad doctrines, but bad diets, man. And those are snares because we're we are denouncing him with our testimony, man. Now, I want to start to bring this all together. Not only are we denouncing him through disobeying his law, but we have to keep it in mind that we are that holy temple. We are his temple. Let's check it out. 1 Corinthians 3, 3 and 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of Yahweh, that you are the temple of the Most High, and the Spirit of the Most High dwells in you? We are that temple. Okay, so now, if we are the temple and the Most High resides in us, if His Spirit resides in us, let me ask you this. When you were a kid and your friend would come over, if you were a clean person, you probably, hey, my friend's coming over. Or even now, if you are an adult and you got friends coming over, most of the time you want to clean the house, especially, for a first impression. You want to clean the house so that when they come over, okay, it's a clean house. Okay, well now apply that on a spiritual notion. The Most High is coming to our temples. The Most High is in us. So do you want to surround the Most High with pork? Do you want to surround the Most High with weed and cigarettes? Do you want to surround the Most High with shrimp, the very thing which is detestable, the very thing which He told you not to eat? No. Okay. Uh, 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 Matter of fact, how did they treat the temple in the Old Testament? There was the outer courts, there was the inner courts, there was the holy of holies. There were certain practices and certain people that could enter certain places. And matter of fact, uh, uh, the heathen nations couldn't enter those certain places. And for those somewhat versed in the Christian doctrine, um, uh, 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 what's the name of that guy that sacrificed the pig on the altar? Everyone knows that story. Sacrifice the pig on the altar. Antiochus. There you go. Sorry. Antiochus, that's a story, a very well-known story of how they defiled the temple. Everybody knows about it. Antiochus came in and he offered up pigs on the altar. Now, that was a big desecration of our temple because there was, out of the certain animals that we could eat, there was even a more specific group of animals that we could sacrifice. And this guy Antiochus, he sacrificed a pig, which is the dirtiest of animals, on the temple. Everyone knows that doctrine. Oh yeah, these. Yeah, by the way, he was an Edomite. But what I'm saying is that everyone knows that story because of the defilement that's in that story. But man, that was just a building. Do you remember when David wanted to build the temple for the Most High? He said, the Most High says, how can you contain me? What can you make? Anything you touch was a defilement, man. Be like I created everything. How can you put me inside of a house out of things that I created? Like the temple was just for us to be with him, but we didn't. The Most High was more important than the temple. Matter of fact, Yahweh Shai said the same thing. Let me see. Destroy the temple, restore 3 days. KJV. John 2:19. Yahweh Shai answered and said unto them, destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up. What temple was he talking about? He wasn't talking about the building. He was talking about his temple, his body. And this is one of the accusations that they brought against him, that he was going to destroy the temple. That's how sacred the temple was. But Yahweh Shai said, Yahweh Shai was talking about his body, man. His body was worth more than the temple, man. And our bodies are that temple now. Okay, so just to kind of bring it all back together, Yahweh gave us His laws because He loves us. Yahweh gave us His laws because He wants to protect us from sicknesses that may come from eating certain species. Yahweh didn't give His laws to the other people because He doesn't care about the other people. We are valued above the rest. Yahweh puts rules upon us, and really they're gifts. They're gifts because we get the eternal salvation, and they're gifts because he keeps us from sickness. Especially it was a gift back then. Now we are in the age of information, but again, before then, they they weren't connected like this. They didn't have the internet, so the, in His wisdom, the Most High said, "Hey, just stay away from this shit." Okay, so again, He gave it to us. And it's very important that we abide by it, because when we don't, we denounce him through our testimony. Okay. And I I showed you guys that a certain group of people push you to eat pork, and that's why it's in everything. Try I challenge you guys to go to get off pork, and you will see how many things you cannot eat. And it's gonna amaze you. Like, damn, they got pork in everything. Why? Because they're trying to keep us from our power. They want us to defile ourselves so that they can keep us from our power, just like in Judith 5. Okay, and then I also showed you the not only are you doing a detestable thing, but you're suffering the spirit of the Most High that is in you to be around that, man. So a diet is a very important thing, man. We as Israelites, we had the law given to us. We had salvation is only for us. That's the sweet part. But the somewhat bitter part is now you can't eat everything, man. So take that. Take the good with the bad, man. You know, that is why we try to abstain from fast food. Man, 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 I hope I still got audio. That should be taking the wind out of me, man. That's why we try to abstain from fast food, because everything is GMO'd, man. Now we understand that we're not going to be completely holy. That we're gonna try to eat the best we can, but nowadays in these end times, everything's so polluted, man. That we, unbeknownst to us, we may be thinking that we're eating clean, and but the Most High sees our works, and even if we know that we think we're eating clean, and it doesn't come out until later. Hey, it turns out that every steak was actually pork, like you know, or it turns out that bananas are actually some weird ass fat comes out. The Most High sees our sacrifice, man. Ezekiel 3. That eat defile. This is the last scripture I'm going to get, Ezekiel 4:13. And Yahweh said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. So everything is tainted. The Most High, fuck you motherfuckers, man. I got phone calls to make, man. But the point that I'm trying to get here is this: for those of you that are trying to, be jackass, oh well, it doesn't matter, you still, blah blah blah. Yeah, you know what? That may be true, but the Most High sees our sacrifice, and even if it comes out that we still are eating our defiled bread, that was prophecy, man. He sees our sacrifice. I hope this lesson has been edifying. I have some phone calls to make, and with that, I say shalom.